The countdown clock helps our team know what's coming. It just reminds them whenever they glance up at it that, oh yeah, there's something coming and we need to be ready for it when it gets here.
Yeah. What just happened? The show at St. G's.
St. G's was insane. St. G's was wild. I can't get over that scene on 18 with the guys coming up. And, right after St. G's, we're going to another heavy hitter in Toronto.
There's no way we're going to be able to match what we just had. So
I don't know if it's possible.
it's not possible.
But
unless a Canuck wins, right?
True.
We were talking to Corey. The last time he played it was the GAO Better Ball.
Corey, it's a great chapter for Canadian golf with some of the classic golf courses, Hamilton, St. G's, Oakdale. Have you played Oakdale since the GAO Better Ball? And what are you looking forward to at next year's RBC Canadian Open?
Yeah, I have not played since the GAO Better Ball. Remember the course being beautiful.
And we got Rebecca joining us too. Her game's been awesome lately, so we'll see how low she can take it at Oakdale.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to Ian about it and see what he has to say, because nobody knows the golf course as well as Ian does.
Well, I think leading up to this, he said something along the lines of the routing for the Open has flipped like 2 or 3 times.
It's a great piece of rolling terrain, so it's got a mixture of sections. Some that are a little flatter and some are a lot more undulating. The golf course is actually the front nine's gonna play over some of the more undulating and interesting land, and I think that's really gonna stand out. It's some of Stanley's best work. I know it is the first of Hominick. It's going to end up being the 5th hole. I think it's one of the best par 4s in Canada. It was one of my pick when I picked 18 great holes in Canada a long time ago. And I think that front 9 is going to be super impressive, and it's going to be a real challenge for the players. The back is the Knudsen 9. It's a little bit more gentle land, except for that the 18th will be pretty dramatic. But it's full of some really interesting holes as well, and that's where they spent a lot of time doing a lot of work.
Probably some of the biggest adjustments we've had to make to the golf course. So some length off some of the tees, narrowing up some chutes on the fairways, adding some extra hazards in places that, that the pros are going to get involved. When I found out that Oakdale was going to host the 2023 RBC Canadian Open, a lot of excitement that's going to come around with that. I've had the opportunity to work on some other tournaments, and it was amazing how much that brought the whole crew together, and you really got to build up to that, and that was a huge focal point. So to be able to host Canada's premier event, it's going to be awesome.
From my understanding, there's 2 or 3 revisions to the routing. I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Yeah, we moved it around a couple times.
Yeah.
And some of it had to do with the driving range. Our range is not long enough
right
for the pros to hit from. So we're using two of the holes that aren't in play now for the driving range. added a couple holes for the Thompson 9,
Right.
which actually were 2 nice holes too. They were good additions.
Okay.
Will be the first and the fourth of the composite routing.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. That's, I mean,
So
leaving the clubhouse and coming back.
Yeah, so it brings everybody back to that central area.
Yeah.
And they're both really nice holes.
Ian said that even though it appears back to front sloped or right to left sloped, it's not. It's very flat. So I'm just playing the number.
Okay.
Then it should kick forward a little bit.
Let's see it.
Right at it. I almost hit the flag.
That landed like 6 inches left.
Yeah. I think it's off the back, actually.
I launched it.
I launched it.
The tough parts about this particular hole is it's an uphill shot, but the green, instead of being pitched hard from back to front, the green's actually got a crown in the middle, and if you hit it too far through, it just bounds right through the back and will not hold up. And so they've got some pin positions around the back and around the crown that make this really difficult to play.
Nice shot. Nice.
Dude, you might have 70 yards coming in.
I love the putt. It's a shame it didn't go in. I love the putt. What you want to do is, center's fine. Actually, center, it's just going to end up left. You'll like that position for that pin. But you can start a little further right. It really won't leak anywhere from there if you prefer that.
I'll see that slope. Okay.
Nice putt.
Just gonna catch the left ball.
That's a great drive. So we're on 3 of the composite routing. This is probably one of the hardest shots they'll face because it's a short 5 turned into a 4. Green falls super hard, like really, really hard from left to right, but that right heads towards the deepest bunker I can think of in the golf course. Short right's a great miss. You'll probably find a lot of players choosing to go there, but missing left in the bunker is going to be really hard up and down, and getting it over the back would be a disaster. So yeah, just common sense here will probably prevail. One of my favorite holes, and I think it's going to make an excellent four. It actually works really well. Get a really good idea. Great swing. Should still be good. Great swing. Perfect.
Did you have to start rowing the rough now, or is it preparation for that future growth next year?
We've thickened the rough up now, and at the end of the season we'll start to raise the heights up, but it'll really be starting out next year.
It looked like it did.
What are you looking at?
That shot?
She's under par, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Get in. Do it! Oh my gosh!
Oh, that's too
that would have been nice.
A nice birdie.
Nice four.
same time, we opened up a few approaches too, just to get consistency.
Where did you do that?
On the will be the 5th hole of the Open. It was a very narrow, windy chute going up to the green, and now we've opened it up. And just overall presentation of the hole looks a lot better.
Wow, what a comeback. What a par. Attaboy. There's got to be some tree removal that happened there, because it's just when you get up that hill, it's just open expanse. You see 3 or 4 golf holes. It's just so sweet right now.
Well, we're trying to do that in a bunch of other areas too, to show off the landscape that we have.
Yeah.
Some of it was just getting hidden with overgrowth and so on.
Yeah.
But I love seeing the landforms on the property.
Jane Finch is a neighborhood that's changed dramatically over the last 20 years in particular. It's always been a really diverse, interesting community. But the community is a word I would describe it. Like there's an arts community here, there's lots of associations, there are a lot of people doing a lot of amazing work and projects trying to give people a better chance or a better start in life. And I just think that that's something that people don't know about Oakdale. Oakdale is a super serious community. They try to hire, for the most part, from local, because that's going to be good for the community, it's going to be good for the club. And I love the fact that there's now a really deep, heartfelt link between the two communities. And I think that's one of the things that people are going to be introduced to at the Canadian Open that's really going to be spectacular.
So the 10th hole of the Open, we tried to narrow up the approach as much as we could.
It's coming. It's coming back. How much uphill does this play, do you think?
A club, single club, almost dead on. So it's probably 20 feet up. When Robbie laid that out, you only had so much land, so he's got that wonderful stretch to open where you're into the valley, and the second hole's probably the most spectacular hole in that 9. I actually think it's probably the hardest 3. Oh, shoot. I'm fine with that. I actually thought it was gonna be worse. I think that hole's gonna give them fits. And it's dramatic and beautiful, and it'll be well covered in the coverage as well in the pre-coverage. Yeah, definitely gettable. I do think the right side's a little flatter, a little more comfortable, and then if you take it directly over the bunker and you can get it to the downslope, it'll actually feed it straight onto the green. So this is going to be, even though it's really long, it will get home too.
Nice red.
Oh, I love your swing. Yeah, this.
All of that.
It was
No,
2
I
yards
can't.
off center.
I can't and I won't. I expect that to be on. Yep, for sure. That's great.
Oh my God, that broke so hard at the end. That just snapped.
And then after that, you work your way through 3 up into the more gentle patch of land, and you're going to go back and forth a little bit. That's their chance to score. If they're gonna go low, they've got to go low once they get through the first couple, and they get out threes, obviously a 5 that's gettable. And then they've got to stretch. They have to score.
$40 yards?
That's on camera. $500 if you make this.
Ian, give me the curling broomstick. Okay. Rebecca,
He says you're gonna like it.
Rebecca.
$500. $500.
Oh.
So 5th on Knudsen is a green that we had to rebuild. It had some real issues with playability. And so the green now is more reflective of the original greens out on the golf course, particularly the Thompson greens. It's very steep from back to front, particularly from the right-hand side coming back towards the middle. It's very tight in the middle and it's got a false front, but if you play solidly middle or right middle, you'll always be successful. You can lag putt to anywhere from those spots. There's a subtle challenge to it. Off the back tee, you're playing to a hole that's got a reverse cant. It turns left, but it actually falls to the right, so it'll just be hard to keep it on the fairway.
No issue for those guys.
It's pretty open, right?
Yes, yeah, for us it's inviting. Actually, I thought you'd made it.
I did too.
We're going to go on the old tees, which is more straight away with a crossball.
All 4 days? Or?
No, for 2 of the days, and then they'll go from the other tees for either 1 or 2 of the days. And then they're going to use this one to mix up the tees.
Keep them on the toe?
Yeah. It's got a little kind of a pocket pin front left that's a little flatter, but they're still steep pins. But everything else they're going to use, and they'll probably use the upper side of it, is nightmarishly steep. And you almost want to hit it in the left rough to hit your approach shot because it's so steep and it's so hard to get to leave it within a reasonable distance. Otherwise, they're going to spin the ball all the way down. And then they've got to stretch. They have to score. They've got to score through there. But once they hit 8, 9, it's going to be a grind coming home.
Talk to me about what stands out about the fairways here.
I feel like a lot of them are very slopey,
Yeah.
which definitely makes it more narrow because the landing spot is now like 50% of what the fairway is. Because if you land it, say, on the right side and it slopes left to right, you're now in the rough. So
Yeah.
I think that makes this course more challenging. But yeah, I feel like once you hit the fairway though, you get good approach shots in.
That was actually good. It was actually good.
There it is! Alex has been waiting for it.
So the 18th is going to be a bear because it's really hard to hit it into the neck. And if players can get the ball in the neck, if they're willing to take that risk, it's a reasonable iron in. But if they're going to play positional, they're going to play back from the river just to simply take it out of play. The shot in is, it's got to be 240. That's a lot of golf coming into that green.
Apparently they're playing this as a par 4. It's about 500 yards, just under 500, dead into the wind uphill today. If you look, that bunker's about 260 to carry. The water hazard on the left-hand side is 298, I just gunned. So if there's no wind, a little bit downhill, you're not hitting driver here, and then all of a sudden, this what normally is a par 5 for the members is a par 4 for the pros, and they can't hit driver necessarily because you just bring all the trouble into play. I'm gonna hit driver today regardless, so let's see what happens.
You know, it's perseverance here. You've got to. You're playing probably for 4, and 4 might be enough to win.
Yeah.
You may be sitting a shot back, and you might actually be in the driver's seat. This is if the wind really comes up, coming home, and everything's set up to play long. This might get real interesting watching shots coming in. But I mean, it's asking an awful lot at the end. But then again, if it's to win our National Open, maybe it should be asking a lot. Yeah.
A little short.
It's coming. I'll come back.
Come back down a little bit. Kind of what happened in the fairway too.
Oh,
Good attack.
man. Nice.
Good birdie.
When you first learned that the RBC Canadian Open was coming to Oakdale in 23 and 26, what went through your mind?
So thrilled for the membership. If you think back in history, Jewish clubs existed because Jewish golfers didn't get the opportunities that the rest of us were afforded, which I think is kind of criminal looking back. And I just think they are a club that's embraced society around them and tried to help where they could help. And I think it's time for the golf community to embrace Oakdale, and it's sort of like kind of like a coming out party. And it's such a nice membership. I'm super excited for the membership to get this experience. So I was thrilled because I think this is big picture. I thought this was a really important moment for Canadian golf.